All right, everyone, welcome back. The post-election analysis for the 2025 Portugal election. Let's get into it. Oh, but before I do, please subscribe to the channel. Every bit helps. Okay. Did anything happen? Yes and no. All right. To cut a long story short, the party, the Democratic Alliance, was able to expand their seat allocation and they went to 89 seats, which in a way is good. 89 seats is a lot, right? Well, yes, no, you need 116 to be a majority. So that kind of means out of 230 seats, a fair chunk of opposition exists. And this is where it kind of gets interesting. So as far as immigration goes for the next 2-3 years, is probably going to remain almost the status quo. However, times can change. The unfortunate reality is the Shaga Party, which went on an anti-immigration stance. They practically want to shut the borders down and do mass deportations. They increased their seat allocation. They went from 50 seats to 58. And some of you might go, that's neither here nor there. That's only 25% of the vote. That's a lot. And especially when you see where it is. So on this map, you can actually see a line across Portugal from the north to the south. The north, the Democratic Alliance is pretty dominant, winning a majority of seats, no real issues. Down south though, the Shaga Party, they dominated. And that is the worrying part, because that is predominantly where all the largest expat immigrant communities are, all in Portugal. The ones from America, the UK, other European countries who have all flocked to Faro, to Algarve, seeking their life on the Mediterranean, the nice hot weather, escaping the winter. That's all well and good, but the locals who you've totally trodden on don't want you there. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's what's driving the anti-immigration sentiment. I've had to film this section of the video, I think going on 5 times now, because every other time I was sounding like I was getting mad and whatnot. And really, it's not up to me to judge your reasons for why you moved to Portugal. The point is though, clearly immigrants are misreading the room. The Portuguese are getting really, really fed up with it. And I can understand why. If you look at the reasons, and immigrants who moved here in the last 5 years would be able to tell you the cost of things are skyrocketing. Okay, houses are skyrocketing. Lisbon is fast becoming unaffordable at all, unless you're a filthy rich immigrant, So it makes it hard for the locals, and they're the ones who vote, and you have to respect their decision making. So while there's going to be no real short-term ramifications as far as immigration to Portugal goes, if I was putting, money aside, thinking that I'm going to retire here in 5-10 years time, I'd be starting to think about making other arrangements, because I don't think there'll be much chance of immigration happening in that time. In 5 years time, I think the borders are going to be almost shut unless you're skilled labor, there's a specific type of immigrant, because what happens is, because the Shaga Party are growing, that means that other parties are going to start listening as well. And the Democratic Alliance, who is the governing body for now, they're right wing. They're probably going to start leaning towards their far right wing roots, or some factions of that party, and they're going to start, there's bound to be some legislation that starts getting pushed forward. So, yeah, it's only speculation. There's no guarantees. I could be totally wrong. But, yeah, I just wouldn't be counting my chickens yet that, I'm going to be able, that you'd be able to move to Portugal in 5 years' time. So that's probably the biggest concern coming out of the election at the moment. Other than that, it's pretty much business as usual. Nothing's really going to change. And, so if you look at this map again, you can see up north, heavy Democratic Alliance support. So it's going to take a bit for that to fall to Shaga, okay? But if I was a prospective immigrant over the next couple of years, I would probably definitely rather lean towards moving to the north of Portugal, because immigration hasn't greatly impacted those areas as much as down south. And I don't think it's really helped where there's English-speaking expat communities out there who don't speak Portuguese, and whole communities are made up of just English-speaking residents, basically. And YouTubers aren't helping when they go on and say it's a pro for travellers to go down there, because you don't need to speak Portuguese. So yeah, that's just my perspective. Okay, so just a quick recap. Obviously, with the Democratic Alliance winning an extra 9 seats, they go up to basically 90. We'll round it to 90. And the Shaga Party, they also increased their seat allocation. So they're also going to be, both parties together pretty much control 150 seats out of the 230 in the parliament, and that's probably not good for immigration. So watch this space, do your research. As fun as politics is to follow, you're really going to have to, whether you like it or not, and that's an unfortunate truth. Alright, we'll leave it there. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time.